Hello, friends. Welcome to yet another episode of Tea Talk with me, Owen Fernandez. I wish you a good morning, a good afternoon, a good evening, wherever in the world you are. I just hope and trust that you are safe and you're doing well. Today is the 16th of November, 2021, and we are on episode number 57. Yes, episode number 57. And the topic that I have selected is something that I live and breathe for the last 13 to 14 years. So I'm so excited, and most probably today I will be in my sweet spot, a place where I'm quite comfortable. And that's the reason why I've decided to name this topic for episode number 57 is how a life coach can help you get unstuck. One of my mentors, Paul Martinelli, said, "Stuck stings." And friends, all of us, when I say all of us, all human beings, at some point deal with problems in life, whether it's our goals, whether it's our aspirations, or whether it's living for a greater good. Now, now I know that most people know what they want. Some may not be able to express it in the way that it could be clear and concise, but people know what they want and people know also what they don't want. Now, people who know what they want, some of them know how to get it. And even if they know how to get it, they procrastinate and they just don't move forward. They have all the excuses in the world why they don't want to do it. Some might feel that it's extremely intimidating, it's extremely overwhelming to start with. Or they may make any kind of excuse not to get started and thus justify why they should quit or quit trying. Now, friends, if you are on the call and if you are one of the people that I'm just talking about, maybe that this episode would help you get unstuck. Maybe you should think or consider getting a coach. Now, friends, when we hear the word coach, 20, 25 years ago, I always associated the word coach to some sort of a sporting discipline. Athletes need coaches, people who play tennis, cricket, hockey, baseball, and all sorts of things. A coach was basically, as per my understanding 25 years ago, was something related to the field of sports. I was so far away from the truth. Coaching today for me is about many things. However, principally, it's about change. In fact, coaching is the language of change. Friends, coaching is all about helping people to optimize their skills, their talents, their gifts, and also their experiences in order to push forward and realize their dreams, their goals. Friends, it's all about developing emotional intelligence and conscious awareness. Bear in mind, a highly skilled coach acts like a catalyst that helps you activate and then also pushes you or encourages you to take action, to change, and to grow. A good coach will bring out the best in you and help you to focus on your goals and not just tell you or boss you around. Now, with this introduction, in this episode, I have used the word life coach. Are life coaches anyone different from the normal coaches that you know? What is life coaching and what is not life coaching? What do life coaches do and how do they do it? So, friends, I'm all excited and I hope you too are. So, in this episode, I will try to answer these questions concerning life coaches and how they can help you get unstuck. In the same period, I will also try to share with you 5 ways how they do it. And lastly, as a bonus, I will also share with you my model of coaching as a life coach. So, friends, grab a cup of tea or coffee, take a comfortable seat, relax as we go deeper into this topic, how life coaches or how a life coach can help you get unstuck. So, friends, if you're here for the very first time on this call, let me know from where you are calling from or where you are watching from. And if possible, go to the chat box and you are free to interact with me as I stream this episode live. Today is the 16th of November 2021. I see a good friend of mine, Peter Bordage, there. Welcome, Peter. Thanks to being on the call. So, friends, let's get started. So, as usual, I normally like to start with a quote. And this time I have picked up Bob Nardelli, an American businessman and a former chairman and chief executive officer of Chrysler. He was so confident when he made this statement. He says, I absolutely believe that people, unless coached, never reach their maximum capabilities. Let this particular quote sink into your spirit. He says, I absolutely believe that people, unless coached, never reach their maximum capability. So, friends, think about it. Do you want to reach your potential and convert your potential into performance? Do you want to test the limits of your capacity and capability? Are you stuck somewhere? Maybe you need a coach. Maybe you need a coach. Now, what is life coaching? Today, as I see, the coaching field is filled with contradictions. Now, what do I mean by that? There are various types and various kinds of coaching. In fact, when I was preparing to come up with this episode, I was just browsing through the internet and I found an article which mentions 31 types of coaching. Can you believe that? 31 types of coaching. However, in the context of this episode, friends, I would share a few types of coaching. Okay, something that you must have heard about it or you could easily relate. Executive coaching, business coaching, leadership coaching. How about career coaching, skill coaching, relationship coaching? But in this episode, as I said, I'm talking about life coaching. Now, you may ask me, Owen, what is it all about? So, here, pictorially, I have basically tried to bring it as a visual representation about what life coaching is all about. Firstly, you have to understand, friends, that our lives actually, in fact, is made up of 3 basic columns: the spirit, the intellect, and the physical. I call it the SIP. We are spiritual beings living in a physical body, for a specific amount of time and given an intellect, which is the seat of the mind and the soul. Now, life coaching is a holistic approach where all six axes of human fulfillment have to be catered to. I'll just show you what are those six axes. And these six axes are so connected that until and unless you have it all balanced and in harmony, working harmoniously in and through it, you will not achieve any level of fulfillment. What about the physical axis? Your health, your body. What about mental? Your intelligence, your level of thinking. What about emotional well being? Your soul, your feelings. What about a desire to be socially connected? After all, we are social beings and we need to get connected in terms of relationships. What about our need for finance in order to survive, sustain, and thrive? And of course, our spiritual needs. So we have the physical needs, we have the mental needs, we have the emotional needs, we have the social needs, we have, of course, the financial needs and the spiritual needs. Now, this I call the holistic life circle. And these six axes are connected beautifully to our spirit being, to our intellect, and to our physical nature. So, in brief, when I'm talking about life coaching, it's all about empowerment in all these six axes of human fulfillment. Empowering clients or people or your coachee to address some of their most urgent, challenging, or important life situations. After all, life is just not work, 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 work. Life coaching is about moving clients to a future that excites and motivates them. In fact, it gives purpose and meaning to life itself. And how do they do it? Life coaches act as accountability partners, as thinking partners, as unbiased listeners who can help their clients to navigate life's tricky situations and difficult issues. Friends, bear this in mind. Life coaching, when done right, can shift the entire trajectory of a person's life, no matter who they are or where they come from. And this they can do if they are good in an incredibly short time. Life coaches help people grow to their highest potential as human beings. And their sole job is to help individuals turn up the extra in the extraordinary, and experience life to the fullest. And let me ask you this question: who doesn't want that? All of us want that. Our soul is looking out for ways to expand and express, to experience. Believe me, we are spiritual beings having a human experience. And in order to make that human experience count, irrespective of the challenge and the difficulties and the adversities that a human being faces, all that you ever needed has been deposited in you. You are more than capable. You have the potential. I spoke about potential in one of my previous episodes very early. But how do you convert that potential into performance? Maybe you do not know. Maybe you are not aware. So if what you know is less, what you do will also be less. So, what isn't life coaching then? Here, I need to make this particular point very clear. While we are talking about life holistically, there are certain things that life coaching isn't for those people. Life coaches are not therapists. Life coaching is not therapy. Coaching, in fact, does not focus on the past. Rather, life coaching, in particular, focuses on the present and creating a future that a person hopes to achieve. So, life coaches are not therapists. Life coaches are not even consultants. A good life coach will not tell his or her client, what to do or prescribe specific courses of action based on their experience or their own desires. Instead, the relationship between a life coach and his client is about empowering the client to create goals that internally activate some sort of a burning flame, a desire, an internal motivation that lights them up, with the coach acting as a guide or an observer, a motivator or a facilitator to reach those goals and watch the client grow from a distance. A life coach is also not a mentor. Mentors typically use their own life or career experiences to provide knowledge or to advise clients on a particular course of action. There is a lot of advice there. A life coach, on the other hand, may utilize the wisdom and guidance from their own personal experiences, which also could include failures. But it is only to allow clients to gain different perspectives as they embark on their own life coaching journey. It's all about discovery. A life coach is not a judge. In fact, life coaches are non judgmental. They are not there to find faults in you, they're not there to criticize you, they're not there to judge you, they're not there to play God to you. Their job is not to determine if a client's choice or choices are right or wrong, good or bad. As I said, they will only challenge your thinking patterns, your mindset, your beliefs, your alignment with your goals and values. Having said that, a life coach accepts the client as he or she is and helps them achieve their goals and thus improve their lives in whatever way the client wants. And finally, friends, a good life coach knows where to draw the line. Never think that your life coach is your best friend forever. I picked it up from my daughter, who always talks about BFFs. The coaching relationship is quite personal and intimate due to the vulnerable nature of the client coach's interaction and the confidentiality that is honored or maintained between the two. Although it is normal for coaches and clients to establish a good rapport and in fact even take care about each other, a coach does not interact with clients as a best friend or a family member. There is a line where things stop. Why? Because ultimately we need to get results. Life coaches support their clients while still remaining impartial and holding clients accountable in a kind and a positive way, but at the same time being very humble. So, we spoke about what life coaching is, we spoke about what life coaching isn't. So, right now, I'm going to take you and I'm going to share with you 5 ways a life coach can help you get unstuck and thus get you back on the path towards your goal. The first thing that they do, and they do it well if they are good life coaches, is that they're looking to listen for structure. Coaches listen beyond the content you say and focus on the structural components of what is being said. Needless to say, coaches are good listeners. Sometimes they even might capture your language patterns, which could be limiting your power, because all of us are not able to convey what's going on in our mind through verbal communication. They might even pick up certain hints, they might even pick up certain stumbling blocks, some mindsets. A coach then helps you with thinking in different patterns to find new ways to organize the content, the chaotic thing, the spaghetti that is in your head, the confusion, the chaos, and thus bring out order and most probably challenge you to create new solutions for a given problem. So they listen for structure. Now, this is what I like most. The second way a life coach can help you get unstuck is by challenging you to a new level of thinking. Albert Einstein once quoted, and it's become so popular in the field of coaching, you can't solve your problems with the same thinking that created them in the first place. So, coaches ask questions at different levels of thinking to inspire a client to create a new level of awareness. And, friends, your level of awareness is directly proportional to the results you have at that given point of time. For example, life coaches can draw the client's attention to different levels of abstractions, trying to ask them, why are you doing this? What happens if you don't do this way? Have you tried something different? Or they might ask questions that filter different thinking styles with the sole intention is to help the client grow outside of the thinking that created the problem. You can't see yourself when you are inside the frame. You've got to come out and then see the situation. So they listen for structure, they're good listeners, they challenge your mindset, they challenge your level of thinking, and try to raise it up by asking some great questions. And that brings us to what type of questions? Those questions are challenging questions. Asking questions that challenge a person's model picture of his or her world. For example, when a person makes a statement about how things are, such as a limiting statement about capabilities like, I'm not good enough, I do not have the qualification, I can't speak well, I'm not gifted, and so on and so forth, the life coach or the coach then asks thought provoking questions that challenge the client to really examine whether the assumption is true or it's based on a lie, and thus explore other possibilities by asking further questions. When was the time you were good at public speaking? When was the time when you were good at doing something? When was the time that you really felt that you gave a great performance? So, through these challenging questions, a client's limiting beliefs can just crumble down, and he might come to a level of awareness that all throughout he was stuck because of self imposed limitations, self imposed beliefs, self imposed thoughts about environment, action, capabilities, choices. The fourth way that a life coach can help you get unstuck is by giving you an outside viewpoint, giving you a different perspective, giving you a different picture. In most cases, a coach is like a neutral party, a neutral third party that is not involved in the client's day to day life. The coach, in fact, operates from an outside position and is mostly responsible for facilitating a conversion and is not affected by or interested in the choices the client makes. As a neutral observer, watching things from a distance, but yet understanding and capturing the mindset of his client, the coach respects the client as highly creative, capable, resilient, and powerful. And by the way, friends, we all are. We are unique, we are gifted, we are talented. Sometimes, from experience, I can say that the major limiting factor for a person are, in fact, the people closest to them, the people that they are associated on a day to day basis, their families, their friends, their spouses, their partners. They could be, out of a sense of trying to protect a person from failure, these same people can be critical and create resistance, doubt, and a loss of motivation inside the client. Or sometimes this could happen entirely created by the client himself for various reasons. Now, having said that, a coach captures all these things, listens, challenges your thinking, makes you look at a particular situation from a different perspective by asking tough, challenging questions. And in the process, a coach lifts up the client by believing in him or her, which is very important. And this belief comes through in a positive way, bringing out the best in people. And finally, the fifth way that a good life coach can help you get unstuck is by offering some sort of accountability. The client sets a goal and action plan, and then the coach holds them accountable. The accountability is that, hey, listen, I'm there, but I'm going to hold you accountable because it is you who want to fulfill your dream. It is you who want to fulfill your desires. It is you who want to get there from here. The coach holds the client accountable and thus brings out the best in the client. A coach invites the client to find positive, not punitive structures of accountability. So have a look at this. Are these any of the ways that you would like to get help for any of the situation that you are going through in life? Maybe work, may not be work. It could be the area of your health. It could be in the area of your thought process. It could be in the area of your social connections, your networking, your relationships. It could be in the area of emotional distress. It could be in the area of financial challenges. It could be in the area of your soul trying to seek something which is beyond in terms of spirituality, not necessarily religion. Maybe a coach can unlock the keys. So, having said that, let me share with you, as a life coach, I operate on a particular methodology, which I call the WOW coaching methodology. And I'm so grateful for my parents who have given me the name Owen. Okay. So I've just framed coined a word called winning with Owen, the WOW coaching method. And believe me, if a coach can't tell you what methodology he or she is using, what he or she does, and what outcomes you can expect from them, show them the door. Today, many of the coaches that are going around are just coaches with absolutely no experience, but yet having a certificate. And while I do respect them for carrying a certificate, at least, you need the experience of taking your client in a proper way so that he or she could take the credit of exploring and discovering the win by themselves. So, I have got a 5 step method of coaching where I start with assessment at the front, which is psychometrics. I assess people trying to find out through holistic psychometric assessments, which are very precise and a high degree of validity and reliability, to find out where they actually are. And sometimes I'm shocked to find out results of these psychometric assessments with what the person is feeling or telling me that is a problem for themselves. Then, on the basis of the assessment, I get I capture the level of awareness of my client. Now, the assessment will talk about personality, about environmental conditioning. The awareness will talk about the functionality, the gifts, and then I'm basically trying to bring it into alignment. And once the assessment, the awareness, and the alignment is done, at that point of time, we know what exactly the activity is all about. And that activity over a period of time, through a process, will bring progress. And for me as a life coach, I just work with my clients for a maximum of 6 months. And in some cases, I worked with them for 9 months. And 9 months is basically an indication that the baby must be delivered. You can't be a coach, a life coach for a person for a long, long period of time. So, just in case, friends, knowing that life coaching process is diverse and expansive. Why? Because it can cover a breadth of issues such as dealing with, obstacles, challenges of life, preventing growth. It could be related to communication and challenges in relationship. It could even impact, your vision of for yourself and for your dream and for your goal. Just in case, if you feel that you are stuck and want to get unstuck, you're free to connect with me. For more information, just contact me or just send a message to me, and you will find all my details at the end of this video. So friends, as I finish this particular episode, and I see my friend Pratik is on the call. Thank you, Pratik, for showing up. I would like to end with a quote from Tom Krause, a motivational speaker and an author of Chicken Soup for the Teenage Soul 3. He says that there are no failures, just experiences and your reaction to them. And here, I would like to share what Elaine McDonald, a Canadian activist, said: a life coach does for the rest of your life what a personal trainer does for your health and fitness. So, friends, as I say goodbye to you, coaching, life coaching is a marriage of a person's potential with his performance. The entire context is to allow people to learn rather than to teach them. Life coaches like me help you clarify your goals, identify the obstacles that are holding you back and keeping you stuck. And then, through conversations, using conversational intelligence, we come up with strategies for overcoming each obstacle, with the entire victory coming from you yourself. The win is all within you. Thanks for watching, friends. You will find the references of what has been shared at the end of this talk. Feel free to use them further for your personal growth and development. And friends, if you have liked this episode, please comment and share it with your friends or with anybody you think would help. Also, you could go to my YouTube channel where all the previous 56 episodes are lined up for your use. You can use them whenever you want. You can click, you can like them, you can share them. And even if you feel that you need to subscribe, please subscribe. Remember, again I repeat, the win is always within you. I, Owen Fernandez, am here to help you be victorious. I believe in you, and together we can. Stay safe. See you on the next episode on Tea Time with me, Owen Fernandez. Bye for now.